What is up, my dudes, and that one girl who's about to have a heart attack as I say nice things about Harley? This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We're doing this. All right, let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on a Cardinal communicator? Check my referral link down below. Want to support me in all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Boom! Then you should become part of the Brew Crew. Join my coffee page down below. Want to know why I'm asking you for money? Well, that link's also down below next to the 5,000 Amazon links, stuff that I personally use and I do support that you should check out, because if I get kickback on that, same thing, goes to the good cause. All right, so let's get into today's video because this is a big one. This really is a big one. Now, I do want to start this with, we're going to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, because as I did the research on this, and I looked into it, I really could only find one source for these pictures, and that is the Fast Life Garage. So, you know, if you haven't checked him out, he's on Instagram. He may have a Facebook or a YouTube or whatnot. I'm not entirely sure, but definitely on Instagram, the Fast Life Garage. All right, so he posted some pictures that are supposed to be leaks of the 2023 CVOs, most specifically the Road Glide and the Street Glide. And if these are true, if these are 100% true and accurate, this is actually really, really cool. And a high five to Harley. Like, good for you. Golf clap, Harley. Like, good on you, man. So let's get into this. And first, I want to start with the stuff that is on both the Street Glide and the Road Glide, because this is big when it comes to Harley. Like, seriously, this is them really like answering that call that we've all been just kind of screaming at them for the last countless amount of years. First and foremost, the engine is going to be a 121 cubic inch engine. So not the biggest, not the smallest. They did bump it up in power, so good on them. I didn't expect anything too much bigger, and I know some of you might say, well, why not the 131? Quite honestly, the 131 is only 4 cubic inches away from their biggest crate engine right now that they literally just put out. So if you were putting the 131 in the CVO, it kind of makes it so less people are going to be willing to maybe gravitate towards buying that 135 crate, especially people who might be buying this new CVO, because let's be honest, the CVO's price tends to be quite expensive. And if somebody's buying that, they probably have a little extra dough to throw a 135 in there as well. Got to make that appealing towards them. So I hold nothing against Harley for not going to the 131 on this CVO. It makes sense. Now here is one of the biggest things that I saw that I was like, about time, Harley, about time. Like, the front end has inverted front forks and it is using branded Brembo brakes. That is awesome. Now, for those of you who don't know, Harley has pretty much used Brembo for years and years, but it's been unbranded. So, you know, it's kind of like going to the store and instead of getting like Captain Crunch, you're getting, you know, Commander Munchies or something. Like, you're getting the store-bought version of the name brand thing. I don't quite trust that as much. The fact that it's actually got the branding for Brembo on the brake calipers is just absolutely awesome. And this is really a huge leap forward. Now, the thing is, Harley has been using inverted forks on some of their other bikes. On like the newer bikes that are coming out, you are seeing this show up, but it hasn't made it to the touring lineup yet. So to actually see this show up on the CVO is quite exciting, because that means, you know, it's probably going to trickle down to the other bikes within the next year or two, hopefully. But that in itself is just awesome. So once again, good on you, Harley. This is great. This is great. This is better than just another paint job. So I'm really excited about this. The next thing I noticed on this was If you look to the side, I know these pictures are a little bit blurry. I screen capped them and all that stuff. So, you know, I tried to get the best picture possible. They do have a new air box. It doesn't look like they're using that thing that just juts out and like gets in the way of anyone over like 5'10's knee. So, you know, it's big. It looks like it's going to capture a lot of air, but it's not this monstrosity that they've been using for the last few years with, like, you know, the snorkel and all that stuff. So I do really like that, and I'm really glad that they're going to that route. You know, it's still kind of close to the bike, but it's big enough where you can tell that that thing's going to pull in some serious air to give you some serious horsepower. So yeah, this is good. I want to make fun of it. I really can't. Like, Harley, this is the stuff that I know I have been giving you crap about, and I am excited to see this. I cannot tell you how much I hope that this is real and this stuff shows up in this year's models, probably the next few months. And quite honestly, when you're looking at these bikes, they look like they're road ready. They look like they're being like just final prep, ready to go. This doesn't look like something that they're still experimenting with. Like, it has the final paint jobs on it and all that fun stuff. Like, you know, it's not in like a primer color. It's not in some sort of camouflage. It's not stripped down. These look like completed bikes, which leads me to believe that these are probably going to be revealed at Harley's homecoming event that's, you know, coming up in a few months. Okay, now this is the biggest thing that is on both of these bikes, and biggest yet smallest. But let me tell you, it's probably one of the things that I'm most excited about. These things are all LED. Hallelujah, Harley, hallelujah. You made it. Welcome to the party, Harley. I am so glad you got here. It took you a while, but you got here, and that is great. And to take it an even step further, instead of having those big bulky sort of directionals like off to the sides on the fairing like, you know, they've had forever and most motorcycle companies have, both of these in their own right are actually integrated into the fairing. And like, I'll show you a little bit more of that very soon. But yes, everything looks like it's in the fairing and it's LED, and that is awesome. Congratulations, Harley, for catching up on that. I'm proud of you, proud of you. All right, so now let's break down the actual like details that you can see in both of these bikes and, like, you know, the differences. And we're gonna start with the Street Glide because there was only one picture of the Street Glide, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of differences, but the differences that were made, I think, make a huge difference. I really like them. Now, as I was saying, you have the LEDs integrated into the fairing for the directionals. And this is really cool because if you look at the headlight and then you look at the light bars kind of coming up on the fairing, it all looks like it's nicely in line. It's all streamlined. It looks like the light is just continuous from the bottom of the headlight all the way up to the fairing, you know, kind of dips out as it like weaves through the fairing. That is such a good styling choice. Like, I really like that. And then if you look at the fairing a little bit closer, you can tell that they've made it a little bit more aggressive looking, and they've also paid attention to some aerodynamic designs. So I really feel like this is probably going to be cutting wind way better than the older fairings. Would I buy a Street Glide? Answer still no. And that's because it's got that Batwing fairing on it. And there's nothing against the Batwing fairing, but I've watched the movie Waiting too many times, and if you've ever watched Waiting, you know what a Batwing is, and I don't want that stretched out on the front of my bike. But overall, this looks good. One of my complaints over the last couple of years was if you looked at the Indian Chieftain, it looked like they were doing a Street Glide better than a Harley. Like, their front fairing just looked better. It had, like, you know, better design, better like sort of aerodynamics, a little more aggressive. I really feel like Harley just took the crown back with this one. I really like this fairing. They did a bang up job on that, and I'm excited to see this in real life. This is cool. Good job, Harley. Like, I can't say this enough, and I'm gonna stress this, you know, throughout the video. Good job, Harley. Like, it is so nice and so refreshing not to see just a few cubic inches added to the engine and a new paint job. You've done something good here, and that's cool. And I'm sure there's going to be people that don't like the fairings. I get that. You know, that's the same with the Rushmores that are out right now, and like everything that was before that. Everyone has their preference, but this is Harley making a true effort, and I'm really excited about that. All right, so now there's a few pictures of the Road Glide, and quite honestly, these are probably the most divisive of everything. So from the first angle that you see, honestly, I don't think it looks bad at all. I think it looks pretty decent. It looks like they've gotten rid of the dual headlight and they're going for more of that shark tooth headlight, which I like. That's actually like the headlight style that I have on my bike currently. So this really isn't like a huge departure from what I prefer, what I like, and what I've installed on my bike. The other thing you'll notice is, like I said, it does not have the directionals on the outside of the fairing anymore. Like, they're going for more of a streamlined look, and now the directionals look like they're integrated into the fairing. If you look a little bit closer at the headlight and the directionals, there is a gap in between those. So it looks like the air dams are still there, which is great. Hopefully they go back to the open and close air dams that they had up until 2019. 2020 is when they removed the open and close option, so they're just always open. But this is a cool start, and I like how everything just kind of looks like it's flowing together, and it looks like one cohesive unit. And I really dig that. Now, the issue that I do have is the second picture on this. It's a bad angle, so I'm not quite sure what the profile looks like on this bike overall. This actually kind of looks like it was off to the side, down below. I mean, honestly, this looks like Mr. Big Head from Rocco's Modern Life. It's very disproportionate. Like, that fairing just looks like 5 times too big for the gas tank that's right behind it. But again, you chalk that up to the angle that it's in. I really would like to see this in some better angles, in person, stuff like that, because overall, this is a decent looking fairing. I do think that some of the molding designs around the headlight are a little questionable. I mean, if you looked at it in a silhouette, it almost looks like it looks like one of like Mike Tyson Punch-Out guys when you like knock him out and his face is all like squiggly. It's like, like, that's kind of what it looks like around the headlight, but I'd have to see it in person. I'm not quite sure there. Overall though, I don't think that this is a bad looking fairing from the initial pictures. Like I said, time will tell. Seeing it in real life, that's the important part. So we'll see when that comes around. All right, guys, so that's what I have. And like I said, take this with a grain of salt for the time being, only because I could not find a second source on this whatsoever. But at the same time, if you look at this bike, there's enough stock and standard pieces on here where it doesn't look like, you know, this is somebody who just has a lot of money, bought the 2 bikes and decided he's going to customize them his own way. It looks like they are being set up to be CVOs. You know, just overall, it's in a manufacturing plant. It's not somebody's like crack shack or garage. So I really think that these are going to be like just big drops that Harley are going to put out with their homecoming festival and all that stuff. So if you can get to Milwaukee in the next few months when they do that, you should probably come check this out, because I'm willing to bet this is going to be a big deal. These look awesome, and I'm actually really excited for what Harley is doing. And again, congratulations to Harley to like really stepping up, answering the call, and putting out something new, something different, and something a little bit more forward thinking. Obviously, there's going to be stuff that's missing depending on your preferences. I know a lot of people, including myself, have asked for a liquid-cooled engine. But, I mean, let's be honest, there's just something about an air-cooled V-twin that is absolutely awesome. The way it feels, the way it sounds, the way it runs, like the torque, that you don't get out of a liquid-cooled engine. So, you know, you give a little, you take a little. But overall, I am beyond impressed, like, with Harley. I really think that they are doing something absolutely awesome here. But what do you guys think? Throw it down in the comments. How do you like the new looks? What do you like? What do you don't like? Are you glad that they're finally making these steps forward? Do you wish they would just stay in the past? Sound off. Let's hear it. But aside from that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one dork you know who's like, I don't like change, don't change anything. He loves this stuff, trust me. And I'll see you all on the flip side.